It's time now to get an update on the latest business news. We're starting in Brazil this hour, where a court has ordered mining giants BHP and Vale to pay damages for a deadly dam collapse. Cara Scarland from our business desk is here to tell us more about that.
Happened in November 2015. It killed 19 people and it's considered one of Brazil's worst environmental catastrophes. It happened when a structure holding mining waste ruptured, causing a giant mudslide near the town of Mariana in the southeast of Brazil. The judge ordered mining giants BHP and Vale and their joint venture iron ore project Samarco to pay the equivalent of 8.9 billion euros. The court found the companies were liable for moral damages or non-material harm, such as emotional distress suffered by residents. Matthew Mary Caruchet reports.
The collapse of the Fundão Dam in Minas Gerais was one of Brazil's worst environmental disasters. It unleashed a deluge of thick, red, toxic mud that wiped out the village of Bento Rodrigues. The 2015 catastrophe killed 19 people, displaced 700, and severely polluted the Rio Doce. On Thursday, a federal judge ruled that mining giants BHP and Vale, as well as their joint venture Samarco, must pay damages of almost 9 billion euros, not including interest. BHP and Vale also face a class action lawsuit with more than 700,000 claimants seeking more than 42 billion euros. The ruling comes at the 5-year anniversary of the collapse of another Vale-owned dam in Minas Gerais. In January 2019, a dam holding more than 11 million cubic meters of mining waste collapsed, unleashing a brown sea of sludge near the town of Brumadinho, resulting in 270 deaths. But unlike the class action lawsuit for the Fundão disaster, residents of Brumadinho have had to sue individually.
Today, 5 years on, it's very sad, because 5 years without my son, 5 years of sadness, and 5 years of impunity. No one has paid for this crime.
The company says it has reached individual agreements to pay 650 million euros to those affected. In addition, Vale agreed in 2021 to pay the government nearly 6.5 billion euros in damages. At the time of the ruling on the Fundão Dam disaster, shares of Vale were down 10% so far this year.
Taking a look at the markets now, the major European indices opened mixed after the European Central Bank said it would keep interest rates high for as long as it takes to rein in inflation. The FTSE in London leading gains there, up about 0.75%, and the Paris CAC 40 up just over 0.5%. The Frankfurt DAX in the red. Japan says the cost of a huge New Year's Day earthquake could reach 16.2 billion euros. The 7.5 magnitude quake killed at least 236 people, devastating parts of the Ishikawa prefecture on the Sea of Japan coast. According to a government estimate made using data from past disasters, the damage there is in that region and in the neighbouring areas is likely to cost between 6.8 and 16.2 billion euros. But even that upper bracket estimate is still way below the cost of the 2011 earthquake and tsunami, which caused 105 billion euros worth of damage. And finally, visitors to Machu Picchu had their trip briefly interrupted Thursday as they were met with protesters. Tour operators and residents closed shops and blockaded the tracks of a tourist train, meaning those on board had to walk the remaining 3 kilometers to the entrance. The demonstrations are in response to a recent change in ticket sales to the Inca Citadel, which protesters say amount to privatization. A local collective claims the company granted the contract for the ticket sales will make as much as $3.2 million per year in commissions. The government, though, says the move is necessary.
We have to ensure two things: absolute control of all the people who enter our citadel at Machu Picchu every day. It's important because if we don't stick to weight restrictions, there will be consequences. And the second thing is clarity when it comes to money. We need a system that allows us to track all the people who come into Machu Picchu, and the cash has to add up.
There you are, not very pleasant experience for those tourists, but There you are, Sharon.
Caris, thank you so much for that. That's Caris Garland joining us there from the business desk.